From drilling threes and middies to their head-to-head matchups, this is how Anthony Edwards compares to LaMelo Ball. Starting off, let's compare their scoring. Ant's been a gifted scorer ever since his rookie year, and in 34.2 minutes of playing time, he's currently averaging 21.7 points per game for his career. That's pretty impressive for a person who's just in year 3. Edwards posted 19.3 points in 2021, 21.3 in 2022, and now in the 2023 season, he's averaging a career best 24.6. If you need any more proof of how great his scoring is, don't worry, I've got you covered. Because Anthony scored 40 or more points on 6 occasions with a career high of 49. Imagine. He's only in his 3rd year, yet he already has a higher career high than numerous NBA players. Now for Ball, he's a pretty respectable scorer too. He comes in with a career average of 19.4 across 162 games while getting 31.8 minutes of playing time. LaMelo started his career off by posting 15.7 points, followed by 20.1 in his sophomore year, and 23.3 this season. Though, unfortunately, he's out for the remainder of the 2023 campaign. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he was having his best scoring year to date. Ball has numerous 30-point games in the league with a career best of 38. While that's pretty good, it's definitely not as high as Ant's. So, all in all, I think it's pretty clear that the advantage should go to Edwards. Next up, who's more efficient? Scoring's great and all that, but if you're not going to be efficient, nobody's going to respect your scoring ability. But thankfully for Edwards, he's had some pretty decent shooting splits since 2021. He averages 17.8 shot attempts per game and cashes in on 7.8 of them, which is good for nearly 44%. When it comes to his shooting from beyond the arc, Edwards is pretty darn good because he makes 35.1% of all his threes. He's even pretty solid at the free throw line as he nearly converts on 78% of his shots from the charity stripe. Of course, I've got to let you guys know one more thing. Ant's shooting percentages of 45.8 from the field and 36.6 from deep this season are career highs for the athlete. LaMelo also has some pretty impressive shooting splits as they currently rest at 42.6, 37.7, and 82.8. While his field goal percentage is lower than Edwards, his numbers from downtown and the charity stripes are better. But is it enough for me to give the edge to Ball? Not quite. So I'll have to turn over to their true shooting and effective goal percentages. Ant-Man has an effective field goal percentage of 51.4 and a true shooting percentage of 55. Ball's percentages are 51.2 and 54.7 respectively. Now again, it's pretty close, but after looking at the advanced stats, I'll have to give the nod to Edwards.
Moving on, who's better at setting up their teammates? As both men are guards, they have to be good playmakers if they want to be considered elite. Though, since Ant's a shooting guard, he's not expected to have crazy assist numbers, they've just got to be respectable. And I'd say they are. He puts up 3.7 dimes a game for his career, while he's averaging a career high 4.5 this season. What's more, the athlete even has a career best of 11 assists in a game. Though he does average 2.7 turnovers, giving him an assist to turnover ratio of 1.37 to 1, which isn't too great. As for LaMelo, he's been an elite playmaker since day one. I mean, he averaged 6.1 dimes per contest in just his rookie year, and he puts up 7.3 assists a game for his career. But here's the real kicker, the athlete has 35 games with 10 or more assists. Yes, you heard that right. As if that wasn't crazy enough, his career high rests at 15 currently. Sheesh. My guy's gotta have a Hall of Fame dimer equipped or something. While he turns the ball over 3.2 times per contest, he makes up for it with how many assists he gets. So his assist to turnover ratio is pretty good because it's at 2-1. In my opinion, it's as clear as day that LaMelo's the better playmaker, and honestly, he always will be. That's why I'm giving him the advantage here. Following that, let me talk about their rebounding. Ant and Ball are both pretty tall for guards, so they should have good rebounding numbers. Edwards puts up 5.1 boards a game, and that's due in large part to his average of 5.8 this season. Plus, he has 14 games with 10 or more rebounds. That includes a career high of 14 back in the 2022 season. So it's pretty clear he's still got it in him to crash the boards. LaMelo, on the other hand, an even better rebounder. But that's not surprising since he's a 6'7" point guard. The athlete posts 6.4 boards per contest, with his best year coming in 2022 when he averaged 6.7 of them. That's not all, because the 21-year-old has 24 games with 10 or more rebounds. Talk about being a menace. While Anthony's a solid rebounder, it's obvious that Ball's just better, so LaMelo gets the nod once more. Coming up, who's the better defender? You know how the saying goes, defense wins championships? So if any player wants to be considered as one of the greatest to ever do it, they need to be good on D. When it comes to pickpocketing his opponents, Edwards is pretty good, as he steals the ball 1.4 times per contest. He even has a career high of 6 steals, and he's reached that mark on 2 occasions. When it comes to swatting shots, Anthony's numbers are respectable, as he posts 0.6 rejections per contest. Plus the fact that he has 7 games with 3 or more blocks and a career best of 4 rejections is proof enough of how much potential he has. Now, for Ball, he averages 1.5 steals per game with his highest of 5, coming in on 3 separate occasions. As for his shot blocking, he only swats 0.4 shots a night, with his highest in one game being 3. It's pretty close so far, so I'll need to whip out their defensive ratings to determine the winner under this category. Edwards started his career off with a pretty terrible rating of 116.1 in 2021, but since then, he's been able to keep it at 112.4. So he has a defensive rating of 113.6 for his career, which isn't great, though he is improving. Now, while LaMelo has a lower defensive rating for his career at 112.4, I should highlight the fact that it's getting higher year after year. In fact, it's at 115.5 for his 2023 campaign. All in all, it's too close for me to determine a winner, so I'm calling it a tie. Up next, let's take a look at their accomplishments so far. Ant-Man's been making waves since his rookie year, and he was the runner-up for the Rookie of the Year award. But of course, athletes like Edwards don't care about being runners-up. They care about achieving something worthwhile. Thankfully, he's done exactly that. He was named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team, and then in 2022, he helped the Timberwolves make it to the playoffs, where he dropped 25.2 points per game across 6 contests. What's more, he was even selected to his first All-Star game this year. He's only 21 right now, and it's obvious that he's going to keep racking up achievements as his career progresses. Moving on to LaMelo, he was the guy who defeated Ant in the Rookie of the Year race to win the award. That alone gives him a huge edge over Edwards. Plus, he made it to the NBA All-Rookie First Team, and last season, he made his first All-Star appearance. You heard that right. He was an All-Star in just his sophomore year. But he hasn't been able to lead the Hornets to the playoffs like Ant. So overall, the edge goes to the Ant-Man, who just barely gets it. Finally, who came out on top in their head-to-head matchups? Both athletes have played against each other 5 times, and it's been Ball who's emerged victorious for the most part. LaMelo has a 4-1 record over Edwards, which is reason enough to give him the advantage here. but Ball wanted to leave no room for debate and made sure to outclass Anthony in almost every one of these games. Across the 5 contests, LaMelo averages 20.6 points, 8.6 rebounds, 7.2 dimes, and 1.8 steals. Plus, LaMelo's game highs are better than Anthony's in 4 out of 5 major categories. As you can see, Ball seems to outplay Edwards whenever they play, and the one time Minnie even won it was thanks to the rest of the squad, as Edwards had a terrible game. I don't know what it is, but Ant just doesn't seem to be in his element when he matches up against Ball. Obviously, LaMelo gets the advantage here, and it's not even close. Unfortunately, that leaves me with a tied score of 4-4. So I'll need you guys to come in clutch and let me know who you think is better. That's it for how Anthony Edwards compares to LaMelo Ball.